Hello friends, in this video we will see a short review of the newly launched mobile from Karbonn, that is the Karbonn A12 Plus. This phone has a 1.3 GHz dual core processor and is running Android Jelly Bean 4.2.2. It has 512 MB RAM and 4 GB internal memory. Out of this 1.24 GB is available to the user. It has 512 MB of RAM. Here it shows 283 MB is used and 188 MB is free. So here you can see it is running Android version 4.2.2. The display is a 4-inch capacitive IPS display with 5-point multi-touch. Resolution is 800 by 480 pixels. There's a rear camera. This camera is 5 megapixels with flash. And there's also a VGA camera on the front for video calls. Memory is expandable up to 32 GB using micro SD cards. Phone has Wi-Fi, Bluetooth and has a 1400 mAh battery. There is a gravity sensor as well as a proximity sensor. It is a dual SIM phone and supports 3G on one of the SIMs. The position of the SIM in the slots is not important, but the SIM on which you enable 3G use will act as the primary SIM. So in the settings, if you set the SIM in slot 2 to be used for 3G, then the SIM in slot 2 becomes the primary SIM. I have been using the phone since 2 days and I want to give my opinion before starting the review instead of at the end. My suggestion is buy this phone only after you see, feel and use it in person. Do not just buy it without seeing the phone. The build of the phone looks poor and cheap. The phone is good in the pics but looks and feels cheap in reality. So check the phone, buy it if you like it. Normally we associate white to premium, but on this phone black feels much better. I also have a feeling that the material in white will turn very yellowish very soon. The specs are good, display and performance is brilliant for this price. On the flip side, the screen sensitivity is bad and camera is pathetic. Especially the flash does not add any value to the low light photography. It can be used as a flashlight but not as the flash for the camera. Coming to the sound, the click sound is inconsistent and annoying at times. The sound automatically increases or decreases throughout the use. I'm talking about the touchscreen clicks and keyboard clicks. The sound suddenly increases and it suddenly decreases on its own. The phone is a solid performer, but the performance is spoiled mainly by the poor touch sensitivity of the screen, which is very essential in a touchscreen phone. I have already listed the phone for sale mainly because of the poor touch sensitivity. The main complaint on the phone is the touch sensitivity. I have used a Karbonn A15 few months back. Though it was a dull looking phone, the touchscreen was better and build quality was good. So I expected a minimum of that quality and this Karbonn has failed on that. Unless you really want the huge selection of Android apps or the large screen for browsing, I suggest you have a look at other phones. You can get a Samsung Galaxy Neo at similar price, although it has a much smaller screen and weaker processor. Or you can have a look at Nokia 308, 310 or 501 or even the soon to be launched 502 or 503 phones. They are much better buys than this phone if you can live without the huge selection of apps. Let us get into the review now. Looking around the phone, we have nothing on the right. There is a microphone on the bottom. We have the volume rocker keys on the left. And on the top we have the micro USB port, headphone socket and the power key. On the back we have the 5 megapixel camera with flash on the top. And on the lower portion we have the Karbonn logo and loudspeaker. On the front we have the earpiece, besides which we have a front camera and a proximity sensor. Then we have the screen and and 3 capacitive buttons below the screen. These capacitive buttons are not backlit. We have the buttons for menu, home and back. Long pressing on the home button will take you to the recent apps list. The phone feels light relative to the size, and the build quality looks poor. The phone is finished in matte, that's a good point, and it does not attract fingerprints. The chrome trim does add to the looks, but feels like it will start chipping off. The phone looks toyish and feels like a dummy display model rather than a real phone. This model looks better in black rather than in white. I have been using the phone for 2 days now and have installed maybe around 20 to 25 apps. Even with all these apps installed, there is hardly any noticeable lag in the performance of the phone. Till now there was no click sound. Now if you have heard it, there was a click sound when I touched it. Now again there is no click. We have the click sound now. Now we don't have. It was there now. Yes. 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 No. Yes. No. Yes. 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 No. So that was the inconsistency in sound I was talking about. I have run different benchmarking tests on the phone. I will upload the videos separately. Once the videos are uploaded, you should see the links to these videos on the screen right now. Click on these links to see the respective benchmarking test. In all the tests except for the screen sensitivity test, the phone has scored reasonably well, which reflects in the performance and stability in daily use. The stability test is also done, and you should see the link to that video on the screen now. The display is bright and vibrant. We are talking in the context of a 5000 rupee phone here. The phone is currently set to minimum brightness. You can see it is set to minimum brightness now. So this is the maximum brightness. All the videos of the phone I have taken are with the phone set to minimum brightness. The display is good and I have no complaints with the display. The spoiler is the touchscreen sensitivity. The screen is insensitive to quick touches. You'll have to be lucky to have the phone respond to quick swipes and touches. To quickly demonstrate that, if I try to bring down the notification bar quickly, it will fail to respond. But if I do it slowly, it will bring down. So we have to be careful while using the screen, while using the touch. That is the issue. We can see that even in the clicks. I'll open the file manager. So I'll try to select multiple files here. As you can see, the screen is not very sensitive. You have to touch it slowly and firmly. This is the issue I was talking about with regards to the touch sensitivity. The phone came with some apps pre-installed, which included WhatsApp, Flipboard and Karbonn Live. There are some services provided in Karbonn Live, but all of these are paid services. All the apps I installed are running smoothly without any issues. We'll try to use Chrome browser and visit a website. Pinch to zoom is also decent, and the page also loaded quickly. You cannot expect much more than this from a phone that is available at 5,000 rupees. We'll request a desktop site. So now it has loaded the desktop site. Even here you can see the scrolling is very fast. Let us check YouTube now. The speaker volume is really loud.
I have the i5-3210 hyper-bridge processor, 3rd generation, the Intel HD 4000 graphics. बदतमीजी एक बीमारी है, ऐसी बीमारी जो धीरे धीरे वक्त के साथ बुढ़ापे में बदल जाती है। मैं कहता हूं जब तक बुढ़ापा नहीं आता थोड़ी बदतमीजी ही कर लेते।
That was full sound. As you can see, the video playback is quite smooth. I have also installed Temple Run on the phone. The game loads up quickly and the gameplay is quite smooth. But now we'll just start the game to have one look. The gameplay is actually smoother than on my iPod Touch 4G. You can see how smooth it is going without any hiccups. But because of the touchscreen sensitivity, we will miss some moves. The battery life is good and worth mentioning, and the battery actually lasted much more than what I expected out of a 1400 mAh battery. This is the dialer on the phone. Looks pretty much stock. For taking a call, we can preset which SIM to use by default for the calls, or while calling we can select. I have not preset the default SIM, so it is asking me for selection of the SIM. I have taken only one call and don't have any issues with regards to the call quality. The loudspeaker is really loud, as you must have noticed in YouTube video playback, and it is difficult to miss a call even if the phone is in another room. While the speaker is loud, it is not really comfortable. The speakers blast and is irritating at times. Also, the volume of touchscreen sound increases or decreases on its own. Even the Google search assistant suddenly goes off while speaking. We can see that now. Who is the Prime Minister of India? As you must have noticed, it suddenly stopped in between. We'll try again. What is the population of India?
The population.
So that's how it abruptly stops in the middle. When is Diwali in 2013?
Diwali is.
Again the same. When is the next leap year?
February.
So that's how it abruptly stops in the middle. Camera is another weak point on the phone. It has a 5 megapixel camera, a fixed focus camera with LED flash. It takes poor quality images and the flash does not add any noticeable value to the pictures. The flash is practically useless. Video quality is also poor and dim. That completes my review of the Karbonn A12 Plus. In short, it is a solid performer spoiled by poor touch experience and camera. Buy it after checking it in person and you will not be disappointed if you know its weaknesses before purchase. Thanks for watching the video. Do subscribe to my channel to see more such videos.